Are you looking to finally get your podcast started? Or maybe you're looking to perfect the podcast you already have? Well, look no further. Duke's Multimedia LLC is here to help you with all your podcasting needs. We're here to help you grow and learn and make your podcast sound even more professional than you can imagine. Contact Duke's Multimedia LLC via Facebook or Instagram. Duke's Multimedia. Learn, create, produce. Welcome to the Amanda Effect, where I thrive to inspire, encourage, and uplift you through life's journey. I'm here to help educate you on self-improvement in life's different categories, including family, careers, relationships, mental health, and so much more. So let's get started because I'm excited for you to feel the Amanda Effect. Hello and welcome to the Amanda Effect with Topher. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I am great. How are you?
I'm super excited. I'm super nervous. Our first video recording of our podcast. Yay! I'm going to be like a dork today because I'm like super excited, but I'm also nervous. So the dork level is just going to keep climbing for the day. Congratulations.
Yay.
So enthusiastic. So a little authenticity for you guys, because I feel like most of you who listen to this, all of us struggle with mental health and things like that. So me and Topher had to prepare for our video debut. We had to make sure that we had meds, and I took my vitamins because I get like really excited. I have like excited anxiety. So if I get too excited, it's like what's it called? Overstimulated. So yeah. So we're going to pray this balances out and this all goes well. But I felt like we should share that with our audience. They needed to know.
We basically both had to pause and say,
Literally.
Oh, wait, let me take my meds or something to that extent. And then we had to come back.
And then I have my tea here because it's a little extra, little calm zen. Right now it's green tea. Usually it's yogi, stress relief, lavender, and honey. But I just got green tea.
I just don't know how people drink warm drinks anymore. But
what?
I mean, I got my coffee, which
that's gonna help the anxiety.
And it's basically nothing but sugar.
And it's cold brew, isn't it? Oh, this is good.
Yep.
I knew it.
It's a good crack.
I wasn't gonna say it.
So yeah.
I almost hit record, you guys, before I actually introduced, just because we were having way too much fun and I wanted y'all to get a piece of what we do. But we'll ease you into that. We're a lot, so it's going to take babies.
It is a lot to handle. But just bear with us, people.
Exactly. So I'm super excited you guys are joining us. I really hope that you enjoy what we have in store. We are talking about something that I'm big on. And I think I'm so big on it because I was so guilty of it for so long that it's like, okay, it's much better on this side of things. We're talking about accountability today, folks. What that looks like, how we do that, if we do that, why it's important. Because that's just something that you're going to have to take into account in any situation in your life, because in one way or the other, you had a part to play in whatever it was. Now, it doesn't make it your fault. That's not a fault throw. Accountability and fault are two different things in my world. I talk with my hands. I can't help it. Sorry. So you're going to see all of this.
The sad thing is that I literally had to like do my hands like this, but they're still like going like this, like no one can see them. But
No, this is a safe free zone. Feel free to talk with you.
These people are like, they should have just stuck to audio.
Right, we're getting so many messages like, we think it's best if you guys, we could just pretend what you're doing or not doing. We don't. So yes, couple things before we get started on our topic. I'm super I definitely want to stick to the authenticity portion of this podcast. It's basically the heart and soul of it. Just how to be authentic, being proud to be yourself, no matter what that looks like, what that feels like, how you are characteristic. There's no right or wrong. It's you, it's you. Um, so with that being said, I feel like there's like a warning that should to be had that I won't look like this every time. I'm
Oh,
very put together today. Sometimes I may have on glasses. Sometimes my hair may be up. It's probably me curly. I will have it straight after this, hopefully, as long as salons don't shut down before my appointment on the 18th. I'm praying, Jesus. I'm praying because y'all gonna see a fit. When I come back over here, I'm gonna have puffy eyes next week. They closed, y'all.
they better not because we have one. So they better.
That's
They
right.
don't
Oh,
have a
so we're
choice.
both gonna be puffy eyed. Noted.
So that's bread, butter, and milk over here. So we can't.
And the
Mm-mm.
milk. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And my child drinks oat milk, so it's expensive than your regular milk.
I just was talking to somebody about oat milk yesterday, and I was like, I love it, but I can't buy it because it's expensive. But if I get a latte, it has oat milk in it every single time.
Better than almond milk.
It's so much better than almond milk, and I just can't get down with soy. Cashew milk is good though. No, oh, okay. What kind of milks do y'all drink? What's your favorite milk? Listen, we'll start it off there because listen, I know a lot of people, including my husband, who drink milk. We have lactate milk, but it's okay. Um, but he has it's a milk sensitivity. I don't want to call it an allergy, but he's sensitive to milk and he shouldn't be eating it, drinking it, or whatever. And every day he wants to get in bed as his midnight snack and a bowl of cereal. Don't wake up and tell me your stomach hurts. No food gonna well. That cereal's gonna hurt your stomach. Accountability, sir.
I can't. I can't.
All right, you want to do a podcast now?
Yep. Let's just
I
go with
feel
it.
like we needed to break them in. Y'all broke in. Come on in. We're doing this. All right. So accountability to me, this is all different shapes and forms, but it's essentially, you taking your part and whatever the situation was, usually when it comes to hurting people or something going wrong, things like that. But a lot of people don't understand accountability is huge when it comes to self-care, that self-evaluation. We should have added the accountability portion in that episode, I feel like, which if you want to go back and listen to it, it's the What's Wrong with Me episode. So, for me, especially when I was like knee deep in all my like mental health stuff, getting treatment and everything, the first thing they have you do, like I said, is look at yourself. But you have to look at yourself in those situations. Once your mind gets healthy, you can see things in a better light. You have to be like, okay, well, why did I think that? What was I doing? And the hardest thing was to take my part in accountability. Me and my husband had the roughest year of our life in 2019. Our marriage was not together, and we hurt each other a lot and other people. So I had to stop. I blamed the beginning. I blamed him. Well, if you would have just loved me more, if you would have just did this, I wouldn't have, thought like this. I wouldn't have been like that. But at the end of the day, honestly, there was all parts to be had. But if you'd asked me then, I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And it wasn't until
But that's what we go with because we always just look at how someone hurt us or how a situation affected us, and we don't look at it at the whole picture because
exactly.
in the beginning you might have said something or did something that caused for him to react, and then it just continued to basically it was like a domino effect essentially. And but like even if the only thing in that situation was in the beginning you did or said one thing and it just kind of trickled into everything else happening, that is where like your accountability would come in to say like, you know what, hey, like I screwed up in this place, and then but I was feeling this way. And like in sometimes like you have to tap into that in order to help basically get the dominoes back in line.
Yes, I 100% agree. And that's not saying like, oh, you caused me to do this. Because that's not, free will is very, it's a real thing, y'all. Like, that's not, nobody causes you. You have a reason to do those things because of what they did, but they didn't cause you to do it. You still had a choice at the end of the day to make the decision to do whatever you did at the expense of somebody else. I always like to use the example of my family and this whole racial tension that's been going on. And because there were so many times I had to talk myself out of saying nasty things, like family things that were for the
Oh,
were
I'm
not
proud
for
of
the
you.
public. So and I was like, and it ain't because I didn't feel like they didn't deserve it. It was just not how I wanted to attach myself to it. Same thing with I do it with when I work jobs, giving the 2 week notice. Most people are like, they don't deserve a 2 week notice. They screwed me, blah, blah, blah. You probably absolutely right. But at the character, at the end of the day, you know your heart, whether you should or should not. Give a 2 week notice. If you shouldn't finish out, whatever your notice was, however the system, 90% of the time, they take you off the schedule anyways, which is still mean. But like if you said you was going to work it out, work it out. Just if not for, it ain't for them. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you and your character because that matters to the heart. And I think accountability has a lot to do with healing for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, actually. Looking at you and being like, dang, you know what? You may have been the problem. Like, my,
Yes.
you may have been the problem but I don't, accountability to me is not step one, two, or three. It's not. I don't think you can honestly look at your true accountability until you heal the mind, until you heal, get back in that rational state of mind and stay out the hypertension stage because you'll never be able to see it. You won't be able to fully see it. My daughter struggles with this a lot right now. But I'm like, okay, like, no, she had no right to call you that name. But why did you call her out in front of people? You could have took her to the side. And she's like, but mom, I didn't say anything. I was like, I didn't say you said nothing rude, but maybe she felt uncomfortable with you calling her out in front of people. So then she felt, way to defend herself. I was like, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just telling you how, maybe you can better handle the situation next time. She doesn't like that.
You know why? I think that it's so like I'm just gonna be we're just gonna be open and real here. So like right now, my wife and I are going back and forth about a about me canceling Thanksgiving. Okay, it is December 7th and it
Oh,
is
what?
still not resolved.
I'm sorry.
Still, yeah, just drink that tea. But I think that in that situation, so like what you said, so like yes, so obviously like in a situation even similar to like your daughter and this person, you said that you understand that she didn't say anything wrong, but she could have done X, Y, and Z. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that when it comes to the accountability piece, is that people and myself included have a problem with the but you could have, but you should have, and or you whatever. And I think that that's where it comes down to. Like, I mean, me specifically, I apologized, and but I still felt like validated in my initial response or reaction on why like I made the decision.
Okay.
But I also didn't take to an account that like with everything else that has gone on this year on like how many people's feelings were also affected. So I looked at it in that moment that okay, it's canceled. It is what it is. But I also know that I reacted and I said things that hurt people's feelings, and so which is why I felt the need to apologize. But I also felt that they should be given a full explanation on why I felt the way that I felt. Now, for me, that was good enough. But for them, and even like how my wife is looking at it, which is fair and valid, she felt like it should have just been an apology or it shouldn't have been canceled and called a day. I didn't need to explain why I did what I did or said what I said. So like, but I did that to try to, I guess to some extent, like hold myself accountable to knowing why I said what I said and why I did what I did. But they don't, that's not what they want, or that's not what they care about. They just wanted the apology. Okay. And then at everybody's time, you move on from it. You know, you see what I mean?
No. I don't. Okay, so here's my thing. I hear you. I heard everything you said. So I guess one, what did you apologize for before I move forward?
For what I said in the time, and for actually canceling Thanksgiving.
Are you sorry for canceling? Like, would you, if you had it to do all over again, would you still cancel it?
At this point, heck no. Because it's December 7th and we're still mad about it. So at this point, we could have just had it.
Okay, so you felt like there were other scenarios that could have been looked at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, only thing I am truthfully, wholeheartedly sorry for is the things that I said. Because they weren't nice. That's what I really am sorry for.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So for me, I'm glad that you took that accountability, but this is where, and you can't control the people and how they take accountability. I'm struggling with y'all. I just need y'all to understand, because I feel like you, I'm going to explain it until you understand that you had accountability in this as well. But that's not my job. It's not my job. Me and the Lord are working on it, but I'm just saying you can't control that. So if they're still mad, like you said, that's going to be on them. You're going to have to find a way to make that okay with you. If you feel like, all right, I didn't handle this the best from here, but let me take accountability and do what I can now, then that's all you can do. We can't keep living back there. And I'm speaking from experience, y'all. I spent most of my years living in the past. Like, oh, this happened. That's why I'm do this. This happened why I do that. If you would have never done this. So I'm trying my best. I love the video. You can't get away with nothing. For those of you who are only listening on audio, Topher absolutely just spilled coffee on his shirt. I didn't want to.
It was actually an ice cube that literally fell out, like off my lip onto my shirt.
Oh, that's even more special. I don't want them to feel left out, so they need to know. We have to make sure we update our audio listeners still. And for all the audio listeners,
we're gonna get it together, y'all.
We are. We're doing great. For all my audio listeners, my background is way cuter than Topher's, but don't go check that. Thank you.
Just so you know, she is fully lying to you, but I also did not do any of this. My wife did it. So
you picked where you sat.
I mean, I did, but that was based upon our initial conversation about you wanting a Christmas tree in your background. So I decided
but
to be
did I say
festive.
I had one? You didn't have to upstage me. I'm slightly salty, y'all. I try to throw this back here at the last minute. I had other pictures back there, but they weren't festive. I was just making sure y'all had the connection and could see us. Okay, so moving on. Other people taking accountability for their actions does not fall in the laps of those who decided to take accountability for theirs. And we have to work with ourselves to just learn how to move on and let them be that. Not be mad, not throw it back in their face, just move on. And let them be what they may, because honestly, you moving on will help them either move on or accept accountability, but we can't make them accept accountability, unfortunately. So, apart from that, I think that I'm gonna say it nicely, I guess. We can't, in a sense, you can't control other people, but that doesn't mean you get to let them treat you any kind of way. Does that make sense? Yes. Like, you get to control your space. So for instance, if you felt like the right thing to do in your bones was to cancel Thanksgiving, I understand people not liking it. I really do. And people want to wait. Trust me, in my household, this is literally how I make the decision. Health, like physical health or mental health. Which one's going to be more important in this particular situation? We had to do it with school. We had to do it with Thanksgiving. We're going to have to do it with Christmas. And the way people are acting sometimes, like, we're going to be by ourselves off somewhere. So it's fine. Thankfully, my family they're more than accommodating, because they're like, yeah, no, you stay home. Like, we're canceling ours. So it's fine. Matter of fact, I was supposed to go to my mother-in-law's house in North Carolina. I was very much looking forward to getting away, feeling some warm Carolina heat. Nope. Nope. She canceled on us. I was like, are you sure? Like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I had a mini like pout fest about it. I was upset. I was upset mostly because I learned a lot of triggers. Holidays are very triggering for me, Thanksgiving especially. Thanksgiving time of the year, due to seasonal depression, is usually when it's the first time I tried to commit suicide and ended up in crisis center. So it was so triggering. And then last year, my family wasn't together. And that hurt, like looking back on the memory. So I wanted to look back on a good memory, but in a sense, I kind of wanted to escape. So going to North Carolina was a great escape, and I had to be reminded of all that. But I was forced not to do that. And so after my fit, I put on my big girl britches and decided, okay, well, we're still going to make it great. And I actually had a cook. I've never cooked a full Thanksgiving dinner. I guess technically I still didn't, because my dad did deep fry my turkey for me. And my mom made my deviled eggs, but that was because my daughter really wanted her to make them because she didn't trust me, apparently. So, but other than
Ouch.
that, I know, right? And she's so, and I was like, Mom, I mean, I love you. You're good, but it's Thanksgiving, and Mama knows how to do them. And then she tried to play it off because, I don't know, she's rude. She's like, and then you have to cook all that other stuff. So then that way you don't have to worry about it. I was like, don't you pat me like that. Make them, Mom, because I got to learn how to make macaroni, cheese, and dressing. So go ahead and do that. Which came out fabulous, by the way. I would just like to point that out. And we had a good day. I had the kids do crafts. I had the cutest tablecloth. It was an activity tablecloth. You know how like we just sit, because afterwards it was like nothing to do. Like, the excitement was over. The kids doing nothing to enjoy. I mean, that's like literally tablecloth had like word searches and coloring stuff they could do and tic-tac-toe. So it was fun. It was cute. I liked it. And I found a Christmas one.
I can't with you.
I know, but
I will say I'm glad that you pointed out the fact that like holidays are triggers for you, and I guess that's what, like, I don't know. I guess that's where like I needed to look at it, because like November through December are like usually like they're just trigger months for me, and so I don't know. I guess I just really didn't like think about it that way until you said that.
therapy.
So thanks.
It helps. Well, I've noticed identifying my triggers it's a big part of me. I think it drives my husband nuts a little bit, because he's like, if it's not a trigger, you've then made it a trigger thinking about it being a trigger. And I said, okay, yeah, true. But also knowing myself, I can know what really triggers me and what I'm just being a brat about, truthfully. So whether I choose to say those things out loud or not, the Lord is working with me. Okay. So
that's your business.
Exactly. But yeah, so, and I think a lot of times the holidays just are triggers for people, just because like even losing loved ones, like I know it's triggering for my family, my dad especially, because this is the first holiday without his dad. We unexpectedly lost him over the summer, back in May, and it's been really weird ever since, because like a lot of my like cousins, like they used to go to my grandpa's house and stuff like that, and now they're gathering at my dad's house, and I find a sense of like protection where I'm like, I love y'all and I totally understand, like, that you guys just are looking for somewhere to go, attaching to grandpa, and my dad's the closest thing. It's his only son, so, and he always handles stuff. And but can y'all get y'all plates and go? Because I don't want my dad getting sick. Like, I was like, Dad, I get it. Like, me and him talked. I was like, but you're still my dad. Like, and I'm gonna protect you while you're here. Like, love y'all.
Yep.
He was off, but he cooked, and he made sure people had plates and stuff. So that was perfectly fine. But yeah. Uh, but since we got on Thanksgiving, I did not plan on saying that all yet, but that day I noticed me and my husband kind of got into it, but it was more so we were both in our feelings. And I think I put a lot of pressure on that day being really good that I didn't make room for his feelings. So I had to take an accountability. Now, don't get me wrong, there was definitely better communication that could have been had, but I can't make him take his accountability portion. But he did, y'all. He absolutely did. Uh, but I couldn't make him. So I had to look at it from my point of view. Like, yeah, maybe he didn't think he was going to feel this way, but he did. So what are you going to do about it now? Sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you have to weigh those pros and cons. Like, okay, I'm taking accountability for this. Now what? Can you do something about it? If you can't, you have to find a way to make that okay. All you can do is do better next time. You can't go back. We can't go back. I know, it drives me crazy. I told y'all I'm a recovering control freak. So I don't know why he laughed at me. I did not know he laughed at me this much, by the way, until we got here.
And every single time, I honestly, I think from the first time I met you, I laughed this much at you. I, I don't know if it's at you, with you, but I do laugh. So thank you for being a comedian and being
I don't even think I'm funny. Well, I mean, I do think I'm funny, but my husband has like me conditioned that I'm not funny, but it's fine because people think he's funny and I'm like, y'all, he ain't funny. Like, he not. He really not that funny. He funny because y'all don't be with him every day. This crap gets old very quickly. I love you, honeys.
Fair enough.
Sip my tea.
But yes, no, I do laugh at you a lot, or laugh with you, however you want to look at it. I don't want
It
you
depends
to,
on the topic.
That's true. So yeah, no, I don't know. I will say this is that one thing that I noticed, especially like being married, is that when it comes to holidays, women tend to put like all this pressure on the fact that they want this day to be so perfect, and then us men who don't really care. And if you don't go according to plan, it's like, why did you screw this up for me? Or why did you do this? And I'm like, I just don't care. Like,
yeah, but y'all don't gotta say that. Y'all have got to.
Well,
okay.
see, and that's the thing. I did say that. I did multiple times. I don't care.
Don't say those words. Okay, we've talked about this before, though. There are certain things you want certain things to get accomplished. There are certain things that you may have to avoid. It doesn't for appeasing them. It's for the sake of the conversation and things getting solved. At the end of the day, if you're just looking to insult, say whatever you want. I'm not saying that. But if you're actually looking to resolve things, words should be picked carefully. Those words, I don't care, cut me deep. I'm married to a Virgo, y'all. And if you know anything about Virgos, they absolutely don't care. And he's a man. So it's like a double dose of really, I don't give a crap. But it's not that.
I think that's why we met so well, because I'm married to a Virgo and she is just.
Oh my God. Haley, I love
you. Just, I ain't even Catholic. I don't even know how they do it, but that's.
Listen, and but there's a level to the I don't care. So my husband had to work on not saying those exact words. And I had to work on understanding it wasn't that I don't care equates to I don't love you, because that's where it goes. They're there. Like, this is so I had to understand his personality. It's not that he doesn't care. It's just not that serious to him. He's like, he has an opinion about it, but it's like, it's not going to rock me either way. So that's what it means. You're like, it's not that big a deal if I miss one Thanksgiving. It's not that big a deal. What is a big deal is us getting sick, you possibly having further health issues and all that kind of stuff. So that's what you mean. It's like, but it comes across because men lack words. That I don't care. Me and my husband just had this conversation yesterday. I was like, you don't have time for the word. So he's going to give it to you straight as quick as he can so he can move on and do the other thing he has to do. He's a busy man. He said, I don't have time. And I don't like spending my energy on things that shouldn't be spending. Like, I'm going to sit here and argue with you about why I don't care, to the point where I'm going to end up caring and be mad that I do care now. So.
Thank you. That's the truth. Yes.
But, okay, I'll take the accountability for that. Now, to me, y'all should be taking accountability for maybe I shouldn't have used those words. And then we wouldn't have, I'm not the only one who elongated that conversation. Because in my head, the conversation could have been ended or not even started with certain words if they were just picked a little bit more carefully.
True. Yeah, true.
Thank you. So I'm gonna
So
record
yeah.
me and my husband watching this episode back. I did warn him. I was like, I'll probably talk about you a lot tomorrow, just so you know. But that brings me to segue. Accountability partners is huge because we're, like you said, it's hard to look at ourselves in that manner. So many times he's told
Yeah.
me, I wish I could walk around recording you because I don't think you really understand how you come off. And my sister have told me the same thing. And I'm like, I mean it from all, like, what do you mean? I'm love. Like, everything's lovely. I speak in love and light. What do you mean? So, and
No.
apparently, I thought I was pretty good at hiding my facial expressions.
Yeah, right.
Working, yeah, okay. So, nobody actually called me out on it 100% until I worked at Starbucks, though. And then my coworker was like, Amanda. And I was like, what? There was like, oh my God, I thought you was going to say something. I was like, why'd you think I was going to say something? It's like, because your face. And I was like, oh God, what did it look like? I thought I was hiding it. Nope. So,
No.
which I don't, I know it's, I don't know what to do about it because it's so self-conscious that I'm not sure. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I should just.
I just think that for people who, like Haley always says to me that she wishes that she could record me all the time because for whether the way that like my body language is or like if I like yell about something that could possibly have like but just been like flat out stupid and then I'd be like I didn't yell, like I was just talking calmly and she'd be like no you were screaming and I'm like yeah right I don't believe you. And so like she's like where's the recorder? Like where is
So
the camera when I
are
need
we
it?
going half on a GoPro and then like you use it first and I use it or you take turns so you can record? I'm just saying, like I'm down with like
I feel like we might as well.
because
So yeah.
I so I have that problem too. I've told you about me yelling. Now so I get really offended when I'm strategically not trying to yell and you tell me that I'm loud. So then I'm offended because I'm like, no, I'm trying not to. So how dare you, sort of thing. I'm not saying it's fair or it's right. I'm just saying this is what I do. So don't jump on me, y'all. But so when he's pointing at, he's like, Amanda, I'm right here. I was like, I'm not yelling. He's like, yes, you are. I said, no, my tone is just louder than yours, but it always is. And you're sensitive right now. So you're not taking it well. No accountability there at all, people, just so we're clear. But that's why it's important.
That's not the point.
So, accountability partners. Accountability partners are very important because I do not want to come off as somebody who's yelling and aggressive all the time. It's one, it really goes against my brand that I'm trying to bring love and light. However, I'm not a soft person. I've come to terms with that. Like I don't really I'm that friend who's going to give it to you straight, but I'm not going to be harsh, but I'm not soft. Like I'm not going to tell you it's okay that you did this because you don't want to accept the fact that you actually did it. Y'all have to call another friend because I'm not that one. And I'm okay with that, but I've had to come to terms with that. That's who I am, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to tell you that up front. So if you call another friend and talk to them about a problem because you're not ready to hear it, that's on you. I won't take offense. I don't call one of my sisters for a specific reason too, because she don't sugarcoat anything. And if she's quiet, it's worse because she's just like, I don't gotta say nothing. And I'm just like, okay, but just yell so I can get it out the way because I really I was more afraid to tell her I was pregnant at 19 than my own mother. So I love her too.
That I get it.
So yeah. But So your partner needs to be somebody who has your best interest at all times. And I mean that knows you. Because if I tell my husband, I want to stop yelling, I want to stop cussing, he's gonna hold me to that. He's gonna absolutely hold me to that. And that's really important. And I think that's probably why we get into our bigger arguments, because we want the best from each other. And we just be looking like, really? That's the best you got? Don't come over here with that. Because I expect more from you. And I love that about him. I love that he does that. And it's important in life. That's how we keep growing and keep moving and keep doing things. I don't need somebody to coddle me. But when I do, I go to my mother. So it's perfect. And it's okay to have those people too. Hear me good. Accountability is knowing yourself, knowing who you can go to for what you're ready for, what you're not ready for. But if you think that you can walk through life with everybody agreeing with you, that's just not true. It's not going to happen, nor are you going to get far doing that. We all have room to
Yeah.
grow. We all have things to work on. We all have, our shortcomings, but move forward. So having an accountability partner, you may get mad at them. That's fine. I get mad at them, have to come around and be like, you know what, you was right. I was just tired. I wasn't thinking clearly. Like, I appreciate you, yada, yada, yada. But also work on yourself to be able to say that. Because I know there's a lot of people. There's a rumor going around that females are really hard at saying you were right. So
I don't really no, I don't know.
you don't
I
know.
think that it's hard for anyone. I don't know. I think that it's hard for like anymore just for anyone to be like, you know what, you were right. I think that it doesn't really matter if you're male or female.
I can say the words like, I can admit I was wrong. But to say you were right, for whatever reason, that shakes me. Mostly because I like to hear
it doesn't
it's
sit
like,
well.
like you were but that's because I love to hear when I was right. Like, I don't be like, ha, told you so. That's a lie. Yes, I do. But but like, I love to hear, like, you know what, like, you were right, Amanda. Because it makes me, for whatever reason, it validates my feelings and my intuitions inside. Like, yep, all right, you knew that. You
See, I
knew.
can never say to Haley, you were right about something serious. If it's like
I
serious,
I
I
require.
just
I
I
literally
will.
look at my husband and be like, say it. And he knows exactly what I needed to say.
Mm-mm.
Like, nope, you have to say it. Like, I need to hear the words. Like, I know you know, but I need to hear it out loud.
Nope. I will put on. I will skate like I ain't like. I
Stop
like.
it.
Nope. I don't know. I don't know why. Like I'll just like breeze on through it. Like it is like the coolest thing on the hottest summer day.
He's
Like
on
it
down the
just is.
road.
Yep. Like nope. They're just to me. I'm just like nah. I just like I'm not into it. I can't. It doesn't sit well from to go from here out of here or from here out. Nah, I just
Can
can't
you
do it.
text it? Can you write it
Not
down?
if it's about something serious. No,
Why?
I don't. But like the thing is that like well with Haley, she'll just like smirk or like just be like, yeah, I know, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, she's a Virgo, so she don't need you to say it. She's already thought she was
No,
right
she
before.
already knows, and then she's going to
Yep. Because
just
Aaron doesn't care. He doesn't. But I'm like, nah, I need those words, bro. I know you know I'm right, but I need you to
so
say
yeah,
it. That makes
just yeah.
sense. So your accountability partners are just as important as you learning your accountability. So let me help you a little bit with the steps that we went through. You need to first find um get yourself mentally prepared. Okay, make sure that you're thinking rationally in your right state of mind. Identify the accountabilities that that you could have had in past situation. Choose on how you want to be better, or just be like, ah, that happened. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to it though. Please don't hold on to it. And three, search for those accountability partners and kind of let them know that. Like, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, this whole, oh, you've been my accountability partner, why didn't you do this? Like, how did they know? Talk. Communication is so important, guys. um I feel like they should agree to it too, because some people don't want that responsibility. My husband kind of didn't have a choice, because, well, Stuck with me
Yeah,
for
I think that
oh,
that's different though. But yeah, I do think that you do need to make sure that your accountability, who you look for or look to as your accountability partner,
mhm.
should be aware that that's what their job is for you.
Yeah.
Because if not, you can go to them about something and thinking that they are going to hold you accountable, and they might not, especially when they aren't aware. Or you can continue to go to someone
Mhm.
and then maybe they are sugarcoating something for you and you don't need that. What you might need is a little tough love or something,
Yeah.
and but you keep going because they have no clue what you have signed them up for.
Exactly. And that's another thing though too. Like the accountability partner should know you. They should know like, okay, she don't need this tough love right now. So I'm a supporter and then we gonna talk next week about this because which sometimes that happens. My sister, me and her, we don't often see like eye to eye on things. That's kind of why I like going to her because she can give me a different perspective. But she holds me to it. Like she holds no punches. She can agree with everything that I'm saying, and she's like, "Well, Amanda, you signed up for it, so what are you gonna do? Like, you can sit here and complain about having your own business and how tired you are and your schedule and this, and that, but you essentially decided to do this. So thank you for venting. What you gonna do?" Like she does not let me sit and wallow and stuff like that. She'll do that even with my marriage. Like I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, Aaron just wouldn't talk. Like he's just all work, work, work." She's like, "Okay, but you knew that when you married him." Like this is not new. If this is a new behavior, I could feel somewhat sympathy for you, but nope, you knew that when you married him, ma'am. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
ugh, okay. And usually the things that bother me in my marriage are things that I admire about Aaron. The fact that he doesn't care about a lot of stuff. Listen, Kevin Hart almost got Aaron kicked out of my house one day. We were watching his new, listen to me. I know that was really random. So we were watching we were watching that new Kevin Hart special on Netflix, right? And he was talking. Did you watch it?
Bop, 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 bop,
Okay.
bop.
So did you watch? So did you see what he was talking about? Y'all not giving an F?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So for those of you who didn't watch it, he's talking about how basically men literally do not give a crap and women just care about every piece of thing everywhere. It's kind of like you were saying earlier about how we put these holidays and we expect things to be perfect. So he was talking like that. I mean to tell you, we had to pause the dang show. This man was laughing way too hard. I was like, all right, sir, I chuckle, but it ain't that funny. And then he just kept laughing. Like he laughed so hard. I literally got offended because it was true. It was so true. I don't know what it was he was saying. He was like, "No, all right, cool. I'm going out. The girls are probably out now. All right, cool, bet. I'm going to bed. Like, I don't care." He was like, "I don't give an F." And if my husband cussed, I promise you, he'd probably say that to me. Amanda, I don't give a like. Do it. Go ahead. Do you like? I'm gonna go do this. I just need to know what you're doing. You safe? All right, bet. And he just moves on, and I'm like, "Ugh, it's not gonna bother you. I'm not here."
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, because I love him, I don't want him to be bothered. I want him to enjoy his evening and not worry about what I'm doing, waiting on me to come home and stressing out and stuff like that. I don't want that for him either. I'm not an easy step.
I think that it's cool that you said that some things that drive you crazy about him are the things that you admire about him. And I think that and I mean, even like with Haley, it drives me insane that these Virgo ways of hers, and especially because like a Virgo will like push back about certain things that you, who the person that is a non Virgo, just might not care about or even think about. But for someone who like knows that they need someone to basically like stand up to them and like basically stand strong in what they believe in and what they want, like I love it about her, but it drives me insane. And so I just like sometimes it's like just let me run out the door, and I don't even care if I trip on my way out. Like, but there's other times I'm just like, yes, like keep standing up for what you believe in,
Yes.
but like it just I don't know. It's weird to know that that's like what you like really love and admire about your partner, even though
Mm-hmm.
it drives you insane.
Isn't it weird? Like maybe I should talk to my therapist about that too. But it is very weird. Because there's no changing their minds. Once they're set up,
No,
that's it. You could present them with multiple facts. Unless they actually choose to do the research themselves and change their own mind, there's nothing you can do. Aaron's mama taught me that. She was like, man, there's no convincing him. There's nothing you can do. Like, he's either gonna do it or not. So you better talk to God because ain't no talking to him. Because he's
that's
not.
where I was at. Yes, that's exactly where I was at yesterday. I was like, Jesus, I need for you to help me in this situation because there was nothing that I could do or say that would have made a difference because it was already like it was set in stone on 11/25 on like this specific situation. And so I'm just like, you know what? I give up. Like I throw in the towel because they have made it this situation in their mind. I've made it this situation in mine, but like they are the ones who are right in this situation, and there's nothing I can do.
I mean, I'm sorry to hear that.
But it's life of a Virgo.
Apparently, we're gonna do an episode on like the signs because I feel like we go through this all the time.
I feel like we should just have them on one day and like just tell me what you've been wanting to say and express your feelings for the Virgos out there.
No. Nip. I don't need the whole world knowing all that. That's fine.
That was a hard pass.
Hard pass.
Fair enough. Fair.
I
I
think
respect it.
I think to end the point of the things that drive us crazy about our spouse, the things we love are the things that I lack, and I think pretty highly of myself, probably higher than I should. So when
There's
things
nothing
are
wrong with that.
when when I'm pointed out to things that I don't actually have but I want, I get very offended like easily. And so I'm like, oh, I want to not care so bad. But I can't. I can't. I really can't. Like I literally remember praying to God, like, I don't want to care anymore. I don't want to feel anymore. Take all these feelings that you gave me and give them to somebody else because I don't need them. Like they're driving me crazy. But figuring out that they're there for a reason because he ain't take them, y'all. So they're still there. But letting my husband kind of rub off on me a little bit, and kind of letting him take the lead on certain things like that is also like playing into his strength. Like I think that's the real teamwork thing. For instance, when you're on a basketball team, you're not gonna let your point guard play center. Why? That's not the strong suit. They're usually short. Centers are usually tall. Like, so trusting them to take the lead in certain situations is just what it is. You're not gonna pass the ball to like your third shooter when you're down 2 points. No, you're gonna let the best shooter take the shot. So I'm learning a little bit of that. But again, with my control issues, that's not always easy. But I'm a
You're in
lot better.
recovery.
I'm in recovery. Yeah, I'm not recovered, y'all. In recovery. I should start a Facebook group.
If
It's
I
either
click on one day and get an invite from you for that, I'm blocking you.
no. That's not where I saw that going.
I'm just quick block.
Listen, it's a problem. It is. I think it's really sucky for me because I like argued with people about me not having this problem. Like, I was like, I'm not controlling. You just don't understand. Da 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 da. I'm not controlling. I just have strong feelings about things. Blah 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 blah. When yeah, I had strong feelings when they didn't go with what I said. So accountability, people. But again, you cannot actually accountability is, and this is in closing. Accountability, it helps you heal because you in turn learn that you can't force other people to take the accountability, but you can do it for yourself. So you can now control yourself in the situations. I know you guys have heard the saying, um, It's not about, what happens to you. It's about how you respond to it. And that's the real power. That's where your peace lies. Your peace doesn't just come, it doesn't land in your lap. It's when the stuff stops shaking you that you can't control. Like, I honestly have to sit and weigh the pros and cons. Like, can I control the fact that my mother-in-law didn't want us to come down for Thanksgiving? Nope. So what am I going to do about it? Now, let me be clear. Also, some authenticity about me. I may have said this before. I'm going to have a fit most of the time first. I'm going to complain. I have to give it out. Drives my husband insane because he's like, well, move on. Can't do nothing. And I'm like, I understand that. And I will get to that point. I can even know that in my head. But if I don't release all the emotions that came first, it's not going to ever work. I'm never going to actually move on. And so we're working on now, letting me release it. Let me complain. Just hug me. Let me call my sister and vent out real quick or something. And then I'm going to get stuff done. I will move on. But stopping that process just elongates it further. So,
I will say yesterday, my pastor, just in to tie in with closing, is that he said that if anything that we can learn from this year, this season that we've been in, is that we have to be in a position to hold ourselves accountable, hold those around us accountable, and remind each other of our strengths and weaknesses. But with that comes grace and the ability to know that you have to move forward without looking in the rear view mirror.
mm, I love that. I absolutely love that. It's that dang on rearview mirror. And the grace portion, I think that a lot of us lack the grace.
Oh
And a
yeah,
lot of times it's for ourselves. Like, I think I give other people
yeah,
way more grace than I give me. And it should start with me. That way I fill myself up with grace and it spills on the other people.
it's
Ayanla,
an
I think
overflow.
exactly. I think Ayanla, she said it on one of her interviews on Oprah, y'all. I love her. Um, she said,
She's getting a little crazy, if you ask me.
I I like
I
that
wish
though.
I wish somebody would be now. Don't be yelling at don't be yelling at me like that.
It's not
But anyhow,
okay. It's all right. Look, that's a whole stop. That's a whole separate. We're supposed to be closing. Don't talk about my auntie Lonely like that. What's wrong with you? No. But she's a key person in how to read the tough love per support versus accountability. She reads it. She reads people. That's her job. So it may look very harsh
true.
to us who can't take it, but that other person probably like, you know what? All right, they may not know she right in the moment, but she'll wait for her turn. All right, I knew I was right. Go ahead and be blessed, baby. She is that person who will yell at you and tell you to be blessed afterwards.
I and that's why yeah,
I
we'll
love
cover that in another episode.
it's
We'll get there.
called Duality. There was an episode about that. I don't remember what it was called, but it was on my earlier episodes. But um and I love that you brought up the pandemic because next week we will be talking about adaptability. Because I think if I have not learned anything else and my kids really have not learned anything else, it's adaptability this year. Because we couldn't control not one thing that was actually happening. And I'm grateful for it because my daughter, she has high anxiety too, and she worries about a lot of stuff. And she's me, y'all. She looks like a daddy, but she acts like me. Um, so she also likes things to go her way. And once she decides it in her head, this is how it should go, and it doesn't go like that, help us, Jesus. So she is learning, but she's learning about that this year. And I think that that's so beautiful. And I'm making sure that I point those things out to her. So we're going to talk about the things that we had to adapt to this year, this season, how we're about to adapt to Christmas and everything else. So definitely stay tuned for that. I thoroughly, thoroughly appreciate all of you for tuning in. Please, please, please leave us a comment and let us know how you like this episode, what you thought about it, what we could do differently. I'm not opposed to you guys giving corrective criticism, guys. That's what it's all about. I'm here to learn and grow and yeah, do better. Topher, any closing thoughts?
No, I'm just excited that we now have video, and I'm
I
excited that
know.
they really get a full perspective on how this really goes. So I'm excited about it.
Same. Got the first one done out the books. The next one will
Yeah, and
probably
don't
be
judge us
more.
for this one. Don't judge us for this one. We did a test run, but just don't judge us for this one.
Absolutely. I'm gonna watch this payback and probably cringe, but that's fine. I'll do better next time. All right, guys, you have a wonderful and blessed week. I look forward to hearing from all of you. If you haven't already, though, please leave us a review. I think you can do it on Spotify, and I know you can do it on Apple, and I believe you can do it on YouTube as well. So or you can just leave it in the comments because I want to know what you guys are thinking, and so do the distributors out there as well. So thank you guys, and as always, be authentic to yourself and others. Bye.
Bye, guys.
The Amanda Effect is sponsored by Pristine Steam Wash of Canton, Ohio. Are you having a hard time finding the time to clean your car? Or how about the furniture that hasn't been cleaned since you bought it? Well, Pristine Steam Wash offers mobile steam cleaning services such as auto detailing, furniture and upholstery, area rugs, restaurant kitchens, and general steam cleaning services. For more information and to schedule an appointment, go to www.pristinesteamwash.com or call or text 330-704-6867. Pristine Steam Wash. They don't just clean, they clean with benefits.